Cool. Now let's get Putin. Welcome to the Gribley's Folly Sunday Antisocial Hour. That time each week when I flirt with oral cancer and discuss the fall of the American Empire. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy... Hey, glad you're with us. Do you have any New Year's resolutions? I want to quit smoking and lose weight and not kidnap anyone over international borders. 2 of those are going to be hard. Actually, I don't want to quit smoking. 1 of those is going to be hard. The other one, I've already got it down. I don't want to brag, but I've gone my whole life without kidnapping anyone over any borders. I think this is actually just Trump trying to pad the deportation numbers. You know, it's like you go get Maduro and then you bring him here and then you deport him. Credit where it's due. No, I can't think of anything to say after that. I went to bed at about 0200, right? Because I'm me. And as I'm like scrolling through Reddit to try to fall asleep, and explosions over Caracas. Oh, I guess I'm going to be awake a little bit longer. And then I got to the videos about the Chinooks flying over Caracas. And if there is a life lesson I want you to take from my YouTube channel, it is that if you see Chinooks overhead, you're in some deep shit. This is what I told my kid during the hurricane, man, when we had them flying over here. It's like, you're either in such a bad situation that they need Chinooks to come help you, or the Chinooks are there for a different reason, and that's even worse. If you don't know, Chinook helicopters carry troops and supplies, which are not what you need for airstrikes, which would have been, among all the options on the table, the one I would have preferred. But no one listens to me. And then we knew this wasn't going to be, I think anyone paying attention to the military buildup in the waters surrounding Venezuela knew that this wasn't... I don't even know if I can talk about this. It's like I wake up and it's my buddy sent me a message. It was like, oh, it's going to be another one of those weekends where the Sunday Antisocial happens on Saturday. That never happens for a good reason, y'all. Anyway, so then I woke up this morning... and looked at my phone and wait, we didn't invade, we captured? Wait, what? I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, it sounds cool, right? It sounds like, if you're my age, you grew up watching the A-Team, right? This is something only the A-Team could pull off because it's so unbelievable. Like, if you put that in a serious TV show, like action adventure TV show, no one would believe it. But if you've got like Hannibal and BA doing it, like, we all know this is silly. Like, that's the only way. Once again, this timeline has reached a point where if Tom Clancy put this in a novel, his editor would be like, please don't insult your reader's intelligence. But they pulled it off, right? Right? We got to hand it to them. The Trump administration. No, they didn't. I'm recording this now as Trump is giving his press conference because I don't care what the man says. There is no way they flew those helicopters over Caracas without the consent of a majority of Venezuela's military. Maduro's generals sold him out. And that would be impressive as well if this weren't the stupidest goddamn move anyone's ever made. But more importantly than that, this is the wrong move. This is morally wrong. I don't like Maduro. I think he's a piece of shit. This is morally wrong. And not for any reasons of geopolitical something, you shouldn't do this because it then does that and blah. No, it's morally wrong because a lot of innocent Venezuelans are getting ready to have a really, really bad time. I think that's one of the failings that Americans have when we think about the rest of the world in terms of like, Obama took down Gaddafi. No, Obama created a power vacuum in Libya. We get so obsessed with the personalities, and in our defense, Gaddafi was quite a personality, but we get so obsessed with the people involved that we don't think about the people involved. Case in point, I myself started this video with, let's go get Putin. And that's funny because Donald Trump would never order a military strike on Putin because Putin has proof that Donald Trump... Anyway. And on that note, can we talk about the Epstein files? I didn't talk about them in my Christmas video. Actually, I did, and I edited it all out because it was Christmas. I was trying to be cheery. Even I, on Christmas, will not bring up the fact that the President of the United States was accused of raping a 13-year-old and being present for the murder of her baby. Is that true? Who knows? But have you seen it? Have you seen the files? Have you seen any of that in the news? Is this the first you're hearing of it? We're going to hear so many people talk about all the angles in this. Is it distraction from the Epstein files? Is it to get the Venezuelan oil? Is it And this is what I think, is it geopolitical positioning for further conflict down the road. But this is fun, or at least engaging. We can talk about this, and it allows us to feel like we know something. Like we could, if we don't feel that we're in control, it's a desperate grasp to believe that someone is in control. Remember last time I said that I would hope for lizard people because at least they would have a plan. Thousands and thousands of innocent people are going to suffer because of this. That's the bottom line. If we let go of all of our ideas and forum posts and social media comments about the whys and the hows, we're just left with, we committed a crime. And that is exactly why Trump couched this in terms of, oh, well, we did this in conjunction with American law enforcement. Really? So like the Metro PD wanted to go down there and capture Maduro. I'm pretty sure sitting heads of state are out of our jurisdiction. We have been told the same things over and over again. Police actions, weapons of mass destruction. We've been told these things. And enough of us believe it every time. And, in fairness, hey, maybe this is a bright day for the Venezuelan people, and the power vacuum that we've just created will not result in any populist authoritarian regimes. I'm not even going to entertain this anymore. We know what's going to happen. We know what happened when we did this in Iraq. And we just struck ISIS last week after Trump said they were completely defeated, 100% defeated. He said that in 2019. I don't know. I mean, again, why even come down to my garage and look into a camera and make a video like this? And I think it's because, it's because of what M. Kiefer, I can't remember, and I don't have my notes. Last week, this person said that they depend on my words, and then I had a funny reaction to that, and they came back with another funny comment. Thank you. I don't want anyone to depend on my words. But we have to talk about it. We can't. I considered maybe I just won't make a video this week. We're past that. We're past the luxury of pretending nothing is wrong. And like the Bondi Beach thing, I think that one reason I do make this video is we need to talk about it. People need to have a place where they can discuss this kind of thing. But also, I want to make a record. I want to make it I'm looking at Reddit and I'm seeing these comments about how Americans deserve what's coming to us, and they're right. I want to make a record that some of us stood against this. Some of us, in fact, the majority of us stood against what's happening. And we are grieving and we are terrified. And this is what it looks like when democracy fails. And at the same time, there are Americans who are 100% behind this, and this is what they voted for. This is what they want. And I know some of them are watching, and I will say again, anything you allow your government to do to others, they will in time do to you. That's the other reason that Trump put this in terms of law enforcement. He is speaking domestically as well. He wants everyone to know this is the power he's willing to exercise. And now we've reached the point where I pivot and try to make things lighthearted and answer your questions. I really enjoyed reading the comments on the last video. By the way, for the record, we'll just do some housekeeping while we're here. For the record, I think we're going to have to move the Ask Ribs things to the previous video only, because that's really the only way I can parse the comments. There's so many comments. So if you have a question you want me to answer next week, hashtag it Ask Ribs. Leave it in the comments on this video. And if you're watching older videos, I don't know that I will see that comment. If you leave a comment, you know what I'm saying. At PRO, have you studied the philosophy of Schopenhauer and Bonhoeffer? I'm not that deep. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this, or can you recommend any equally deep philosophers? I've barely scratched the surface and am flabbergasted at how relative their thoughts are to the insanity of the world today. Spooky and scary. I don't ever get spooked or scared. No, I have never read. All right, so I went to University of North Carolina at Asheville, right? And we had a mandatory humanities program. We had to take 4 humanities courses where you would read all this stuff, and then Then there were the philosophy majors, where if you really don't ever want a job, you can go learn more about philosophy. So that is the extent, and I skipped most of those classes. I don't know how I passed, except honestly, I didn't cheat, but I socially engineered my way through a few things. I can tell you that story. That's pretty fun. The Epic of Gilgamesh. Did you have to read that? Oh my God. Yeah, I totally socially engineered. I lucked through it. We'll come back. No, I don't know anything about philosophy, but I happen to be steeped in Judeo-Christian learning, knowledge, study, whatever. I sat through a lot of church, right? And the thing that continually and on brand and on theme for this video continually shocks me is how accurate the Old Testament is in terms of human behavior. The biblical metaphors that really, man, it's kind of stretching to call them a metaphor. Like when Moses comes down, like with the commandments, and the Hebrews have already made idols, and it's like, y'all, I was just up on I just got the message. So to answer the question, that is my extent of philosophical learning is Sunday school. Robin says, if you have a real tree in your house, that may be the cause of your annual Christmas sick. No, what I have in my house is a real 11-year-old. Once we went to an artificial tree, that pretty much solved the problem for it. Do you think I could do that? Do you think I could, every year I could send my kid away to Hogwarts or whatever and just get like an artificial, like a Chucky doll? Maybe I might get murdered in my sleep with a scalpel, but that might, at this point, after all this, it might be better than having a cold. Thank you for all of your get well comments. It was a rough week since the last time I saw you. It didn't get as bad as it could. My son was definitely worse off than I was. And I did have to shoot a wedding in the middle of it, though. I had a New Year's Day wedding. New Year's Day weddings are always difficult because it's the week between Christmas and New Year's, and I never know what day it is. So every day I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, did I miss the wedding? And then I got in the elevator at the venue and I pressed the button for the floor, but it wouldn't go there because the venue staff, I was early and the venue staff hadn't unlocked the elevator yet. And I had this moment of panic where it was like, oh my God, I got the wrong day. It was fine. It was a great wedding. It was fine. There's like these moments of adrenaline dumps in the wedding industry, where things go wrong, where things go wrong. And usually they work out fine, but check on your friends who work from home and have been through the holidays. Cause we're in a fever dream. If you've made it to this point in the video, thank you for watching. I literally did plan to make a Happy New Year video where we talk about where the channel is going to go in 2026, and that's an open question. I don't have any answers. I have plenty of stuff I want to do, and then I feel like we need a space. We need to be able to talk about this, all the horrible stuff that we're living through, and those things seem to be in conflict. It's hard to be funny, even when the shtick is that I complain. It's hard to be funny and also talk about these times. So that's just a moment of honesty, and I appreciate your feedback. And when you tell me, hey, this is important, and I'm comforted by this, that tells me I'm doing the right thing, and I'm going to keep trying to do the right thing with this channel as we move forward. It's important to me to make a record. From the beginning, it's always been journalism, and I don't know anything else to do other than move forward with that intention. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind. Reach for alignment with your values, and everything else, we wing it. It's a new year.